Hello Commanders, Commander PLATER here, back with another Elite Dangerous video. So today I'm taking a little look at some more changes that are going to be dropping into the beta later on this week. Now, there are a few things in there that aren't necessarily covered, they're not the so glamorous stuff, but they're pretty important, so I thought I'd go over them. Now, as someone who doesn't actually have access to the beta myself, I stand very little chance of coming across things by accident and being able to report them that way. Now, the reason why I don't have access to the beta is because I don't want to. I'm not a huge fan of having to do things twice, even if they involve a different bit of effort, and also at the same time, I'm not sure I should be paying to test someone's games for them. That's a whole job called a game tester, which is available out there. So the first thing I'm going to be looking at today is the fact that they're going to be changing shield regeneration speed. Now, as someone who flies a Corvette, I'm a big fan of this because it takes far too long for my shields to come back up once they've been knocked down. And yes, I should be ashamed that I'm letting them get knocked down. But even still, they're going to be having, putting in kind of, I guess, different ranges of regeneration buffs. The first one being is that for the larger shields, so that's size 8, we'll have basically a double regeneration speed, so they'll be going twice as fast, which is pretty impressive. And the smallest sizes of size 1 shields will probably get no improvement whatsoever. Now, the regeneration effect is probably going to be more obvious on shields that have already been formed, so it's going to be an interesting, I guess, balance to see how that works out. And obviously when a shield is taking damage, it can't recharge at the same time, with the exception of a shield cell bank, so that's worth thinking about there. Next up, they're going to be changing the bi-weave shield regeneration increase, so they're going to be making them in line with the previous regeneration speed updates, so they're going to be going twice as fast as well. Obviously, we're going to see what kind of balancing issues this is going to cause in combat. This could cause battles to be longer, more drawn out. Also, at the same time, it could mean you spend less downtime if you're in a hazardous resource extraction site, or any type of resource extraction site, to be fair, and that type of thing. So next up, they're going to be doubling the hull health on trader ships. So that's everything from the hauler, the Type 6, the keelback, Type 7 and Type 9 heavy. That's a pretty impressive buff. Now, what they are thinking about doing is possibly increasing it even more. Double hull health, to me, is a pretty impressive freebie, and it kind of means that you don't have to worry about bogging yourself down with those reinforced alloys and stuff like that. Again, all of this is going to be going in the beta, so I guess we're going to see how it works out. Next up, this one's probably the most controversial in my mind: military ship slots. So what that means is that they're going to be adding a bunch of equipment slots for combat ships, or military vessels, not necessarily combat ships themselves, and the idea being to make them more useful. It's an interesting thought in my mind. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. The idea being you're only going to be able to add hull reinforcement, module reinforcement and shield cell banks in there. Now, as someone who already has a ship who has shield cell banks, extras would be good, yeah, that'd be cool, but there are going to be some downsides as well, and that's going to be increased power draw and increased weight. And with increased weight, that obviously means less FSD range, less speed, less turning, all of that kind of stuff, so it's worth thinking about. Now, I'm going to do a quick rundown of what each ship is going to be having. So the Eagles are going to be getting 1 size 2 module slots. Vipers are going to be getting 2 size 3 module slots. Vulture is getting 2 size 5. The Federal Dropship, Gunship and Assault Ship are all getting 3 size 4. The Anaconda is getting 2 size 5s. The Imperial Cutter and the Federal Corvette are getting 3 size 5s. Now, there are going to be some major balancing issues, I'm sure. Certainly there's going to be a lot of probably hull tanks out there, I imagine, being built. But obviously with weapon changes they may not be any good at all. We'll see how that goes, I guess. Now, for those of you who are quite astute, you may have noticed that the Third Lance isn't in there. Now, the FDL isn't classed as a military ship. It's definitely a combat ship but not a military ship, because it's not used by any system defense force or any major faction in conflict zones. That's essentially my definition of what would be a military ship. I know, working on that theory, technically a Type 9 heavy probably should be as well, considering you see them in conflict zones, but I'm sure that's a mess up somewhere along the way. So it'll be interesting to see how they go with those increases. Something else they are covering as well and going to be improving is the Saito Scrambler, which is obviously that power play specific weapon, where hopefully it'll make it more useful, because at the moment it's not very good, no one really uses it, and it's pretty daft. Obviously it's good for melting shields, but that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember, head over to the forum, have your say on this, what you think would be good, what you think would be bad. Again, link is going to be in the description there. I'll continue to report on stuff like this as I hear about it, because if you're like me, you don't spend all your time sitting there scrolling through the Frontier forums, and certainly this kind of information should be out and about there and more available. So I'm Commander Plater. I want to thank you guys for watching, so make sure you do like, subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications as well. That's that little bell next to the subscribe button on the video. So thank you for watching. Commander Plater out.